For those of you that may have gone camping, you may remember the point of the night where the fire starts to die down. That one friend starts to whip out their favorite ghost story, from vampires to werewolves, from zombies to lost hikers. The stories these days may seem a little different with the advent of AI. That horror story may have a dark shadow of a more sinister, robotic feel. One of a post-apocalyptic world where humans become too comfortable with the machines they rely far too much on. Fear not, good viewer. Come around my fire, grab some hot cocoa, and roast a marshmallow. For I have a campfire story about AI you never saw coming. I want to take this moment to thank you for being part of our community around the fire here. I want to let you know that if you would like to contribute to the mission here, to sponsor a child in Kigali, Uganda through Maisha Holistic Foundation, or to just allow us to update our equipment, pay for some of the programs that we use to edit these videos and get out there, or for a future mission trip throughout the country, then by all means go to a Ko-Fi page. It's in the link below. It's also in my profile. That's going to allow you to help us do the things we do, allow us to go out and help and love on others, as well as sponsoring children in Kigali, Uganda continuously. If you would like to give to any of these things, just make sure in the note of the donation exactly what it is for. Because again, I want to make sure that if you're looking to donate to sponsor Child Here, like we are already doing with Vinny and Trinity, then please let me know, because I want to make sure that money goes exactly where it is supposed to go. But again, check out our Ko-Fi page on my profile as well as in the description. Thank you so much for taking the time. And again, remember as always, you are loved. I appreciate you. The advent of artificial intelligence, or AI, is one of the most transformative developments in modern history. From self-driving cars to advanced algorithms that predict consumer behavior, AI permeates every aspect of our lives. Yet with the widespread integration of AI comes a variety of questions. Is AI inherently evil? Should Christians embrace it? Or should they ignore it in favor of more traditional approaches? As Christians, we are called to evaluate the world around us through the lens of Scripture, seeking to understand how we can best use or respond to new technologies. Let's dig right in and explore what AI is, the potential ethical and moral concerns surrounding it, and how Christians should approach its use in the light of their faith. At its core, AI refers to the simulation of human intelligence in machines that are programmed to think and act like humans. It encompasses a wide range of technologies from machine learning, where systems learn from data and improve over time, to natural language processing, allowing machines to understand and generate human language. AI can perform tasks that would typically require human intelligence, such as recognizing patterns, making decisions, and even holding conversations with people. Now that's where it gets kind of sketchy, all right? Like you ever hear of those AI bots calling people and leaving voicemails? It's just like, what? Crazy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. In simpler terms, AI enables computers to think and learn by processing large amounts of data, identifying trends, and making predictions. It is used in everything from social media algorithms to voice assistants like Siri and Alexa, and even in advanced medical diagnostics. AI has the potential to revolutionize industries, but it also presents a profound ethical challenge, especially in the areas of privacy, autonomy, and justice. I'm gonna be honest with you. When AI first came out and we were looking at everything, I was extremely skeptical and extremely uncomfortable. Now, don't get me wrong, I am still uncomfortable. However, I have learned a lot, not just from this, but from my own research outside of this, and I found that my viewpoint is changing. However, I am still very skeptical of a lot of things and being more so cautious. Being cautious. Because as we learn and understand, it's not that we should lose our cautiousness. However, with more understanding means the ability to utilize AI for the greater good, which I'm sure this will go into it. question of whether AI is inherently evil or good is one that has sparked much debate. I agree with that. That's what I want to know. As with many modern technologies, the moral value of AI depends largely on how it is used. In some cases, AIs can be a force for good, creating efficiencies and advancing human knowledge. Yet, its misuse or irresponsible development could lead to significant harm, which is why it's crucial to approach AI with caution and wisdom. The Bible teaches that humanity was created in God's image and that we have a unique relationship with our Creator. In Genesis 1:26-27, God says, "Let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness." So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. This passage establishes the fundamental worth and dignity of human beings. But AI, by its very nature, is a human-made tool, not a human. And while it may mimic certain aspects of human intelligence, it lacks the soul and consciousness that define human beings. AI is not inherently evil, but its used and potential consequences must be carefully considered. And that's the thing we need to keep in mind. It is a tool. A tool like a shovel can be used for good. A tool like a shovel can be used for evil. Again, it is the tool. It is not who is using it. So as long as we come into this, from what I'm seeing so far, which I agree with, we need to come at it like a tool and understand its function and why we are using it, and not just let it go run rampant. We need to make sure that we're using the shovel as a shovel and not bashing somebody over the head, right? We need to make sure that we're utilizing it for its purpose intended and for good purposes. Because even if the purpose intended might be like a sword to defend yourself, well, I mean, we have heard in the Bible turning swords into plows. Hey, maybe that's what we need to do. Turn the sword into a plow and cultivate versus destroy. Let's keep going. I'm liking this so far. While the Bible does not directly address the development of AI, makes sense since the Bible was written a little bit ago, its teachings on morality, human responsibility, and wisdom provide guidance for how Christians should respond to its technological advancement. All right, I gotta move a kiki. One second, I gotta move a kiki. Tadpole's like, I want to read. Let me read next. Yeah, there you go, Tadpole. There you go, Tadpole. Proverbs 4:7 says, "The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom. Though it cost you all you have, get understanding." This verse emphasizes the importance of seeking wisdom in all things, including new technologies like AI. Christians are called to carefully evaluate AI's impact on society and ensure that it is used ethically and responsibly, aligning with the values of justice, compassion, and human dignity. All right, Tadpole really wants to join this. Tadpole's like, hey, I am ready to read all of these essays. We're going to replace you, Boots, and I am going to be the one that is doing all the videos. All right, Tadpole. I appreciate your input on that. Thank you. I appreciate your input on that. No, where was I? Distracted by cute Fuzz. I know. She's cute. She's cute. But yeah, I think we're coming down to evaluation, understanding, and knowing how to utilize this tool for what it's meant to be utilized for. I think that's the key component here that we kind of keep coming back to, and I think it's very important. It's very important. Don't be scared of it. Understand it and utilize it for good. Is kind of what I'm so far grasp this, but we got plenty to go. So let's keep seeing what we got here. Rather than avoiding AI, Christians should recognize the unique opportunities it presents to fulfill their God-given mission. Okay, now we're digging into something here. That's what I want to see. I want to see, okay, well, what's the other side of this thing? What's the other side? The digital age offers Christians unprecedented ways to spread the gospel, serve others, and embody Christ's teachings. AI can enhance many aspects of the church's work, from streamlining administrative tasks to helping Christians better understand Scripture through advanced search tools and databases. The Apostle Paul encourages believers to look carefully how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise, making the best use of the time, because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand what the will of the Lord is. In the context of AI, this could mean using technology to reach people with the gospel who might otherwise never hear it. AI-powered tools such as chatbots or apps that share Bible verses or provide a virtual counseling could serve as modern-day missionaries, spreading the message of Christ across the globe. Now, okay. When it comes to AI missionaries, I'm going to be honest, I have seen some like AI, like I've seen the AI Jesus. I don't think AI should be utilized for mission work as like you just let the AI go out there and have at it. When it comes to mission work and utilizing AI, I see it more as like helping someone like me who is out there doing some mission work, but doesn't have the resources, people, or tools to really like do a lot of work by myself, and utilizing AI to help organize things and help get on track and keep on track. Because for me, I'm all by myself, so it makes it very easy for me to get distracted or off task, or maybe a project seems too big and it's like, okay, well, how do I organize this project to make it more attainable? Which I can utilize AI. Hey, I want to do this. Help me organize it so I can get from A to B. But to just have AI go out there and be like, yo, you're now a missionary, go be Jesus. That makes me a little uncomfortable. The AI Jesus that exists, it is out there, it is a thing. And I don't know how I exactly feel about it. I don't know the heart behind it. I don't know who's in charge of it. I don't know where the AI is getting its information from to be like Jesus. It's just kind of, I don't know, not my thing. I don't know how I feel about it, but it is out there. So for me personally, going off of there, I feel like AI should be utilized as a tool and not the missionary themselves. I think that missionaries can utilize AI and should utilize AI for many amazing things that it can offer. But I don't think AI should be the missionary. That's where I'm disagreeing with this. I don't think, I'm sorry, I don't think that AI should be the missionary. That seems a little risky, because you don't want to mislead people due to information that is just getting pulled from a database without being checked. You know, like if I ask AI for sources, it can give me sources. Like, hey, I'm writing a paper on this. What are some good sources? It can give me them, but I'm going to go in and double check these sources. I'm not just going to be like, okay, it did it, it's right? You know what I mean? Whereas if AI is just doing it and asking for sources and it pulls the source and it's like, hey, here it is, it could be totally wrong depending where it got it from. You know what I mean? That's the concerning part. So I don't agree with AI being an actual missionary, just as a tool. I just see it as a tool. Moreover, AI can be used to address critical social issues such as poverty, injustice, and inequality. By leveraging AI to analyze data on global trends, Christians can better understand and respond to human suffering. Again, organization. Makes no sense. AI systems could help churches and Christian organizations allocate resources more efficiently, predict needs, and provide aid to those in crisis. Okay, yeah, again, administrative. Makes total sense. Administrative. For example, AI can assist in disaster relief by analyzing weather patterns, identifying areas in need, and coordinating responses in real time. As Christians, we're called to serve and care for the marginalized, and AI can serve as a tool to further that mission. I've actually seen some pretty cool things about AI and disaster relief out in Southeast Asia, and how they do actually utilize AI to scan over data that's brought in, like video, drone footage, whatever it is, and seeing where and how to best organize these things. Super cool. So I agree with that. That's pretty awesome. Despite its potential benefits, AI is not without ethical concerns. Okay, this is another huge topic. One of the most pressing concerns is a potential loss of human jobs, as AI and automation replace workers in industries such as manufacturing, retail, and customer service. Yeah, makes sense. See those kiosks all over the place, removing people. Like, you can go to a McDonald's. You can go to McDonald's now, where it's just kiosk, nobody at the register. And it's just, you have to use the kiosk. And I mean, I'm sure you can raise a stink and be like, yo, I really want a cashier, but I bet you anything, they're going to come out to the kiosk and help you there. They're probably not going to actually open up a register and help you. Unless they do. I could be wrong. According to a 2021 report from the World Economic Forum, AI and automation could displace 85 million jobs by 2025. Whew, that's a lot. That's a lot of jobs. While creating 97 million new ones. Okay. All right. I see you. Okay. So, I mean, we're losing some. We're gaining a ton. So, I mean, it should outweigh it. So, I mean, we are getting more jobs than losing. However, it's, okay, well, what are those jobs going to look like? Because are these now skilled laborers or unskilled laborers? Because there's a big difference between being a retail worker, who's an unskilled laborer, and then being some sort of automation mechanic, which is a skilled labor. So, I mean, if you're making jobs that people can't fill, you're still losing an entire workforce, which is really, really unfortunate. This raises questions about the role of human labor and the ethical implications of society that increasingly relies on machines rather than human workers. Additionally, AI algorithms are often not transparent. We know that. I mean, we're on YouTube. We know that. I got you. Meaning that people may not fully understand how decisions are being made, whether it's in the hiring process, law enforcement, or healthcare. For instance, there have been cases where facial recognition systems used by law enforcement have shown to have racial biases, leading to discriminatory practices. As Christians, we are called to love our neighbors as ourselves. Matthew 22:39. We must consider how AI could perpetuate injustice or harm vulnerable communities. When it comes to especially hiring practices, so many companies, when they use these HR softwares, especially federal government jobs, they will use AI to go through applications and pull out the applications that they want. An actual HR representative, an actual human being, won't touch those applications. All they touch are the ones that the AI pulls out of the bin and say, hey, these are your candidates. So we're relying on AI to be able to decipher all of these resumes and job applications, and we're trusting that it's going to pick out the best one, which is not the case, because I guarantee you this AI is going off of hot terms, key terms, things that it think or have been plugged into it to be like, hey, we want you to pinpoint these candidates with these words. And just because a candidate doesn't use these key phrases, they'll never be seen. They could have a PhD and 40 years of work experience and be the smartest person in the United States of America. But because AI didn't see any of these key terms in their application, they just get looked over. So when it comes to jobs and hiring people with AI, I'm actually against that. I don't think that's a good practice to have. Is it efficient? Yes. Does it save you money? Yes. But are you going to get the most qualified workforce for the job you're hiring for? I don't think so. I genuinely do not believe that is the case. All it's doing is make it more efficient and cheaper. It is not making it better by any stretch of the imagination. And that's my own opinion. It's my own opinion. Again, maybe there's some industry where it's not doing that, and it is more in depth, and it is actually pulling good candidates. I'm not saying that's not possible. However, from my experience and from what I've looked into, that is not the case. So that's another part of this that I disagree with. Another part. There is also an issue of privacy. Ooh, another big one. AI systems collect vast amounts of personal data, and there are concerns about how this data is stored, used, and potentially exploited. The Bible teaches us to honor the dignity of others, and this includes respecting their privacy and personal information. Proverbs 4:27 says, "Do not swerve to the right or to the left. Turn your foot away from evil." In the same way, we must not simply ignore or give an inch in ethical practices. We must turn from it, be vigilant in guarding the data that individuals entrust to us, ensuring that AI systems are used responsibly and ethically. Very important. However, ignoring AI entirely is not the solution. As with any tool, the key lies in how it is used, like we just said. AI can be a powerful force for good, but only if it's developed and implemented ethically, with a strong moral framework. Christians must be at the forefront of advocating for responsible AI development that aligns with God's principles of justice, compassion, and fairness. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. If we're on the forefront, if we're feeding AI, developing AI, you don't have to be an AI developer, but if you're working with AI and you're plugging things into AI, it is going to learn from what it is you do. It is going to learn, and its database is going to get filled with your information and what it is you are looking for. Which means if more Christians get involved in this, if more Christians get into AI and give it information and feed it information and teach it the goodness of how Jesus taught us, then AI is going to start pulling from that database because it's recognizing, oh, people want this. This is the information that we're looking for. I'm going to hold on to this and acknowledge this information because people want it. It must be true. So we have to give to AI as much of what we have so that bad and evil practices cannot be brought, and if brought, are drowned out by the good. And these are very important things. I couldn't agree more that we must be involved. Because if we're not, AI is inevitable. AI is not going anywhere. AI is going to continue to develop, and it's going to turn into something that's absolutely crazy. And if we're not there, if we're not doing what we need to do to input good and Christ within it, then there's no chance. There's no chance. We have to be active in this field. If we're not, then like any tool, it can be used for evil. It can. And that's something we really got to think about. How am I going to stop that from happening? And it's as simple as just using it for what it is we do anyway. It's amazing. As we consider the implications of AI, it's important to remember that we are not passive observers of technology, but active participants in how it shapes our world. Jesus calls his followers to be salt and light in the world, Matthew 5:13-16. In a world that is increasingly influenced by AI, Christians must be involved in the conversation about how these technologies should be used. Wow, it's like I'm seeing things in the future. I'm just kidding. I can't see the future. I just read ahead a few sentences, and I think that influenced what I said prior. That's my bad. That's my bad. Firstly, Christians should engage with AI thoughtfully and critically. This means educating ourselves about AI's capabilities and limitations, as well as its ethical implications. We must not shy away from the challenges that AI presents, but rather seek to understand how we can be a positive force in this new technological landscape. Secondly, Christians should advocate for the responsible use of AI, ensuring that its development prioritizes human dignity, justice, and equality. This might involve participating in public discussions about AI policy, supporting legislation that protects privacy and workers' rights, and pushing for transparency in AI systems. All of those absolutely amazing. And honestly, as weird as it sounds, transparency in AI systems is probably the most important thing out of those, which sounds weird, but I mean, it makes sense. If we see what it's doing, if we see the direction it's going, if there's transparency within it, those other things just shouldn't happen anyway. So yes, very good, very good. Lastly, Christians should use AI as a tool for spreading the gospel and serving others. AI-powered tools can be used to evangelize, provide support for those in need, and address pressing social issues. By embracing AI, Christians can ensure that this powerful tool is used in a way that reflects Christ's love and compassion for all people. Couldn't agree more with those things. That is exactly what I'm saying. I get it. I'm on board with it. I'm on board. AI is neither inherently evil nor inherently good. Like any technology, its moral value is determined by how it is used. For Christians, AI represents both an opportunity and a challenge. An opportunity to spread the gospel, serve others, and address social issues. And a challenge to navigate its ethical implications with wisdom and discernment. As we move forward, we must be proactive in shaping the future of AI, ensuring that it is used for good and aligned with God's principles of justice, dignity, and compassion. Let us rise to the occasion, using the wisdom of scriptures to guide us as we embrace the opportunities that AI presents, always seeking to do as Christ calls us to do, loving our neighbors and serving the world. Now, when it comes to AI, and it comes kind of what we've all gone over here, I mean, there's a few huge takeaways that I want to kind of reiterate what we were reading there. And it's the fact that we can't be passive. As Christians and as the development of AI comes to be, because it is inevitable, we need to be active within the space. The more we're active in the space, the more we're able to influence AI to the teachings of Christ, the good, and bring it from evil. Because as AI keeps getting developed, it's going to continue to grab from databases. It's going to continue to bring things to its understanding and then use those things. Which means if we're inputting more data, if we're putting more things out there that are Christ-like, then AI is going to start pulling those things and using those things because it's going to see that people want it. So us just passively ignoring AI and pretending it doesn't exist and hoping it goes away one day isn't going to do anything. All it's going to do is allow for that evil to creep in and actually make it a tool for evil when we can make it a tool for good. So as you go out there, I want you to really think on this topic of AI. I'm not saying this was the right answer. I'm not saying that this is the end all be all. This is a much larger conversation. But I hope that this at least kind of cracked that shell on the conversation, making you kind of think and question, okay, how am I going to utilize my social media and online presence to do good and to potentially utilize AI for good? And what I can do in the government, legislature, online forums, whatever it might be, whatever your path is, to make sure that AI is utilized for good and not evil, making it a tool for good and not a tool for evil. Because at the end of the day, it's a tool. It's not a human. It's not self-aware, conscious, sentient. It is a tool. And it's up to us whether or not that tool is used for good or for evil. So we need to make sure that we're doing what it is we can to make sure it's used for good. So again, as you go out, as you take what it is we've talked about here with you, really think about AI, how it works in your life, what it is you can do to make good out of this tool, and to not be passive in this complex concept of AI. It's extremely complicated, extremely complicated. But the more we know, the more we understand, the better equipped we are to use this tool. Just like any owner's manual, just like any owner's manual. You have to learn about it to use it. If you don't learn about it, you don't know how to use it. Makes sense. So I encourage you to take this, go out and use it within your life to make it a tool for good. And as we close out tonight, as we always do, I want you to know you are loved, you're appreciated, I'm absolutely grateful and thankful that you're part of our community here around the campfire. Without you guys, there is no community. It's not my community, it's our community. We are the ones that make up this beautiful place, this bright light that brings us all together to have these deep conversations, to spark that potential interest we didn't know we even had, or ideas and collaborations that may have never happened if we didn't come together around this fire. Now, as you go out, light your own fire, build up a community, bring light to a world that can be so dark. And as we spread that light on the hill over there, just becomes the light, because everywhere is going to shine so bright with all the light. That's just going to be the light, because this world has so much more good in it because of the lights, the fires that you light on your way and in your journeys. Now, like we always say, we are not authorities in anything we do. We are simply guides. So by all means, if you have any further questions, comments, or concerns, or you disagree, that's totally fine. Let me know. I'd love to have a conversation. And if I don't know the answers, or if I don't have something to bring back to the table, if you say, hey, you're wrong about this, that's okay. I'll find the answer. Or I'll concede to, okay, I see your point. Hey, that's amazing. I'm glad you brought that to my attention because I didn't see that before. Because again, with community, it's all about accountability. It's all about growth. We're not growing, we're stagnant. That's not what it's meant to be. But hey, I love you, fam. Peace. I want to take this moment to thank you for being part of our community around the fire here. I want to let you know that if you would like to contribute to the mission here, to sponsor a child in Kigali, Uganda through Maisha Holistic Foundation, or to just allow us to update our equipment, pay for some of the programs that we use to edit these videos and get out there, or for a future mission trip throughout the country, then by all means go to a Ko-Fi page. It's in the link below. It's also in my profile. That's going to allow you to help us do the things we do, allow us to go out and help and love on others, as well as sponsoring children in Kigali, Uganda continuously. If you would like to give to any of these things, just make sure in the note of the donation exactly what it is for. Because again, I want to make sure that if you're looking to donate to sponsor Child Here, like we are already doing with Vinny and Trinity, then please let me know, because I want to make sure that money goes exactly where it is supposed to go. But again, check out our Ko-Fi page on my profile as well as in the description. Thank you so much for taking the time. And again, remember as always, you are loved. I appreciate you.